Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. Definitely more of that having a wonderful day on this first July 2025 kind of day, even though it's cancelled because of the rain. I usually like to give you guys a little sunset, but as you can see, it's raining, so I'm gonna give you guys something else, and I think you're gonna like it or not. All depends. But here we go. This is actually really rare, so enjoy. Yeah, a full ass rainbow. It's very rare that you get both ending. And the clarity of it is really nice. Look at this. Cause I'm a young man after all. Oh. Do-do-do-do. We have the beautiful here. Look at this, but here. And you know what? Just for the sake of the argument, let's take a couple picture. So I can jerk off to it later. Okay, I think let's take some videos. Okay. Down, Link, it's your buddy, Yink. Welcome to the show, welcome to another video. I think we're also having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025. It is Canada Day. Sadly, as you can see, it's raining outside, so it is cancelled, which is exactly the video of today. Yes, you see a rainbow here. It's a really rare rainbow because if you look at it carefully, it is complete from start to finish. You can see it. It's actually really rare. So today, we're talking about the Canada Day. We're talking about how it feels to be cancelled. This is kind of like a part 2, if you will, of our video of this morning, which was Canadian guilt. How I feel guilty to be Canadian when it's convenient and be French Canadian when I want it. I should be proud of my roots no matter what they are. And I should be proud of my roots no matter how people view it, right? So, the reason why we're doing this little video, why we're doing part 2, is because I did this video before when this party that happened. And then the party that happened was canceled. Because of the way everything right? Not what you're saying. Hey, why am I getting real on that? Well, I think it's important. See, even though it's very clearly, right? And it shows also, it shows just how little that we have, how much it should have. This is a big podcast. And I think we should also put it's not to leave technology. Something that happened that should, oh my god, are you kidding me? There's no fucking way. Okay, you can still see it. There's no fucking way. Okay, never mind. I thought we had lost a rainbow, which would have been so cool because I got to film it. Yeah, with nature porn, what I'm realizing is if you don't get it on camera, you're not gonna get it. It's really rare. So what happened is when I went in, I possibly pushed the camera. That's why it wasn't showing up. We're still seeing the rainbow a little bit, which is cool. So, acknowledging how shitty it is. And this is a big acknowledgement because, first of all, if I'm being completely honest, well, it's kind of like a moot point. So a moot point is something that is null. It's neither good or bad, it's a big old zero. And we had a party on the 34th, which I went, which wasn't for me, but at least the city did something, right? Today we had a little party, which was cancelled, but there was still something, there was still some activities. So yes, it was still something in the city, and although it wasn't as enjoyable, it was still something I went to. Now both of these, I would have went. I wouldn't have went if it wasn't to make content. I'm just being honest here. I would have not went if it wasn't for making content. But then again, I wouldn't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning if it wasn't for content. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do if it wasn't for content. So this is kind of normal behavior. This is something that you're able to acknowledge that you're doing on a general basis. Why is it also important? Because it's not isolated behavior. It's not behavior that has to do with Canada Day, nor the behavior that has to do with Saint Jean, which is the French Heritage Day of Quebec, which is 24th June, 1st July. And now, on the side. So I saw an event I decided to continue acting the way we're acting in the movie, which is again continuation. Nothing new, nothing bad. However, my reaction to the camera was, and I think it's a defensive mechanism, was coping. So our way of coping is, you know what, it didn't really happen, but at least we tried. We went. I want to show you this because this is also very beautiful. I want to show both. You know, because this is, it's rare that we have a beautiful nature corner like that. Talking about filming something or not, do you think that there's a certain use of filming every single day nature corner? Lately I was complaining about clear sky. Well, this clear sky, however, are the exact same. If we're talking about clouds, they're moving, they're different, they're unique. You know, it's like filming a. It's like if you got to film a snowflake, which on this camera I probably could, with a 30%, with a 30 times the zoom, I possibly could. See, we barely see it anymore, but it's still there, and I'm happy because we filmed for 8 minutes, and I got to film it at its glory, at its peak, which is kind of cool. That being said, with today, was I pissed that it didn't happen? No. Did I really care? Kinda and kinda not. Did I care that was celebration? Not really. Did I care that my city was doing something? Yes. This whole behavior. For example, the French show, I went in with the presumption that the band that was gonna be there, which is an older lady. I'm not saying that older lady cannot rock, but I'm saying that some people, you have to see the prime, and you have to see like, okay, well, this was a really good show. I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised, first of all, and I gotta say, there's a lot more people that showed up than I thought, which is amazing, because it does show that she still has impact on culture, culturally speaking, and yes, culturally speaking, she is one of the big star. So that was great for the city. That was great for the city. We didn't have Prime Marjo, which is her name. We still had Marjo, which is kind of cool. So I went in expecting nothing, right? And I got out having a great show. And this is fucking unbelievable. You see, when it comes to the fireworks, we only get them twice a year, which is not true because on New Year's you have the fireworks. However, on New Year you also have the show of the New Year. So, for example, there's a whole night dedicated to that. There's a couple of shows that talk about the year, and usually they're humoristic, but also like nice little recap, you know. And that's it. If it was a film, really good. Now, when I saw the shows, I could have spectacles in French. I could have done a couple of things differently. Okay, well, that's a funny thing. That's a really fun thing. On La Saint Jean, I worked a whole day. On Cannes Day, we made a mistake yesterday, where we filmed too much. So I could upload on YouTube, but I couldn't upload anywhere else because my phone was full. So I couldn't upload on TikTok. So when I woke up, the first step was to upload on TikTok. Now I'm thankful because TikTok is faster than YouTube. But it's all a mess. Why is TikTok faster than YouTube? Well, TikTok upload one video at a time. YouTube will upload every single video at a time. You know? That's why your TikTok is also better. TikTok will also compress your video, so compress the quality. YouTube will do the opposite. YouTube will take a shitty quality videos and upload it on high quality. So this is kind of what's going on. So today I had a bit more time and I watched people, and it was really nice. It was really nice because so there's two things about that. This is in general, right? This is a huge video, but I feel like it's something that needs to be said. When it comes to content, I'm watching more French Canadian content creator. First of all, with English, I get a lot of content creation that's English. I don't really need one more or one less content creator that's English, which is sad to say, but is the truth. I watch a lot of French people, and it's funny because when I watch a French content creator on a platform, I don't know, I haven't done it, so you would think not on TikTok. With the battles, I do it, which is kind of nice, which is kind of something new, definitely something new. So that being said, I think it was cool because today I saw a lot of people celebrating Canada Day. I saw more people celebrating Canada Day than I saw people celebrating La Saint Jean, which is again the French heritage. But at the same time, there's more Canadian. There's French Canadian, right? I think we're a ninth of the population, or a little bit less than that, which is crazy. Canada, the whole thing. So see, Quebec is one of the biggest provinces, but it's still just a province. A province is what? A province would be similar to a state in the United States. You guys know that the states have 52, 52, I don't know if it's 51, 52 states. I know it's around those, because there's 52 stars on the flag, so we think it's 52 states. And yeah, it's kind of nice because, oh, fun fact, did you know that there's a letter that's present in no countries, which is Q? Yeah, I know what you said, bro. Quebec is with a Q. And Quebec is not a province. It's not a country. It's a province. Yeah. So, with content creation, and at the same time, I'm watching very different content on platforms. So, for example, on YouTube, I'm watching something that is more relaxed, more archive. I'll watch documentary. I'll watch complete show compilation. Right now, what we're doing is we're watching Our Stern, and we're watching things that are like 12, 14, 15 years old, which are really cool because culture was different. The laws, the politically correct didn't exist. It's another era. It feels like it's a different generation because it is a different generation. By the way, I don't think like I need to live a habit now. I'll watch recipes. Right now we're on a deep dive of 3 things. There's the book talk, which is I really love. There's this guy, I always forget his name. Super interesting. Maybe you know him if I'm talking about him. He's a black dude, kind of built up, no glasses, cornrow, short cornrow. This guy is super amazing, and he has how do I say that? He has a very good understanding of his demographics. And example, it's like, okay, well, this is a series. Okay, well, this is one off. Okay, well, this is one of the books. He does it really nicely, and he's honest. Like, for example, since the beginning was shit, the beginning was good, you know? And I like him. There's over talk. So, for example, we're suing. For some reason, I'm getting a lot of theories. For example, for Art the Clown, for Chucky, what is the next step for Chucky? For Child Plays. No, sorry. Dead by Daylight. Chucky is Child Play, but Dead by Daylight, which is another play. Many other deal for that, which is kind of cool. And the last one is cooking. There's not any type of cooking, and it's air fryer cooker. Like, for example, today I wrote down a recipe for s'mores, which is basically putting fucking marshmallow in the air fryer because they'll melt. You take it out of the air fryer one time, and you put chocolate on it, like big chunk of chocolate, and then you go put it back, and then you take graham cookies, which are big rectangles. What you do is you dip them like a dip for chips, and you eat it, and that gives you a s'more. I'm gonna do that for sure, you know. Or as it was not yesterday, possibly Saturday or Friday, one of those two. They give you the recipe for a bean casserole, which was decadent. It looked good. I'm not a bean guy. I'm not a bean guy for a simple reason. Again, this is Canada. We have this meal in French Canada, which I'm gonna make a lot of people disappointed by not liking it, which is called the Five Volard. The Five Volard, what it is, it's beans, normal beans, like pine beans, and you put them in a very sweet sauce, which is maple syrup. It's not maple syrup, it's a bit thicker than maple syrup. So what they do is, when you have the maple syrup, you cook it. The sugar in it caramelizes a little bit. Yes, you can make caramel with maple syrup, and because it caramelizes a little bit, it gets thicker. So what you do is you constantly stir, before you reach the point where it's cooking. You take it out. You get the right little sauce of maple. That's pretty much it. To come back to the video, sorry. Side tangent, right? I do those. I do those sometimes. What was really cool with the whole thing, and I do mean really cool with the whole thing, is that how can I say this? By watching people of every kind of thing, and I still felt, and this is kind of like an important thing, right? Kind of really important thing, because today, like I said, I made the video for Canada, and talk about how embarrassing it was that I chose this race, which is, oh, I'm Canadian. No, no, I'm French Canadian. Depending on what you call it, on the person. I'm gonna say something that I hope doesn't sound racist. For example, right? I don't fucking know. You're Italian, and you go to a place. For example, I don't fucking know. You go to a place like Greece, right? And you meet this family, and you meet this family, and they're also Italian. So the whole time, your guys are spending time together, and you're recreating a little Italy. You're having the culture. You're having the meals from Italy. But then you're in Greece, and you're like, well, I was supposed to go to Greece to observe the culture, but instead I kept my culture. So this diving in a new country didn't really happen. So that sucks. Now, why am I saying this? Well, because Quebec and Canada feels like two different countries. It really does feel like a different country. I had a friend, Andrew, which lives in Ontario, which is in the northern side of Canada, but more so the English side of Canada. So Toronto and Ontario are super important place historically speaking, but also culturally speaking, and they're a huge city. They're not the biggest city in Canada, but they're very important. It would be a sort of New York and USA. It would be a kind of a New York. Um, yeah, it would be New York. That it's not a capital, but it's close to it. Actually, don't know where the capital of Canada is. I think it's Toronto. I'm not sure. And then by seeing those TikTok lives, so what happened is I went to the student party. It was cancelled, and I was like, okay, well, why do you give a shit? Well, because you can't film something, right? You can't really film something. Why did you give a shit about the show? The show of Marjo was great. Would I have stand there for 2 hours to watch the integrity of the show? No. No. Even though she gave a good show, I didn't have a good place. I didn't see. She gave herself. She was dancing, and she's in her 70s, guys. She's in her 70s, so something's about that. Her blood, amazing. Genetics, amazing. It was cool. It was really cool. Now I'm watching the presentation about the candidacy. So what they're planning to do. Now, ultimately speaking, and I was gonna say that I didn't think about it. I didn't finish it. I'm sorry. So I was thinking I could have easily did. Okay. Oh my God. Now I understand when I talk about this. There's two reasons. So by being on TikTok, I saw people I had that celebrated. But I also saw some Canadian, French Canadian, and they were living in a city. I don't live in a city. I live in I live in a town. I live in a town. I don't live in the city. Towns, cities are different. They look different, but they're different. I don't know if it's smaller or less people. I don't know. I'm not a cartographer, thank God, because you would get lost the fuck out. So we saw people, and they were celebrating the city, and there was bigger Canada Day. There was bigger celebration, and then I was like, holy shit! If there's nothing in Lachine, I can go there. But at the same time, fuck that. Of course, I'm happy that people are celebrating. At the same time, who is filming or who is documenting the thing in Canada? So I did a video today. I mean, there was no show. I did a video. And I was like, well, it's kind of important because, okay, well, these are serious. Okay, well, the celebration for this. I started just saying something during the video, so I didn't finish it. Not this video, the first one did. My father worked for the city, and in the Sheen in 2008, we had sort of an Olympics. We didn't have the Olympics, but we have an activity on the Olympics. So the person carrying the torch passed by the Sheen. And the city spent 1,000 upon 10,000 upon 100,000. I don't have the exact same number. Building some stuff and making the cities nice, right? To bring Canada, to bring tourists. And then my father working for the city the next day. So okay guys, the bosses, they're saying, okay, well guys, let's get down. My father was one of the loudmouths, just like I am, very full of voluble, very talkative. And they're like, okay, well, can we keep something as sort of like a memento? I don't care if we take down shit, but can we keep something as a memento? I said, no. Everything in the garbage. You know? And this was a big, it was a big, it was a big point of disappointment for my father. And at the same time, my love for the city is, of course, I was born here. Of course, I live here, but hearing people talk about it, hearing people talk about Lachine, and the funniest thing is, in a good or in a bad way, people say Lachine is a dirty town, or it's full of people that don't work and people that are abusing the government, charity, generosity, shit like that. And I'm like, fuck, I'm from Lachine, dude. So if you talk about people from Lachine, what about me, right? Kind of like a pride. And ultimately speaking, this is also very important in this video, because at the same time, was I happy that we celebrate Quebec? Absolutely. Was I happy that we celebrate Canada? Absolutely. And then when you ask me what I am, if you don't know Quebec, and I know that you don't know Quebec, I'll say I'm Canadian. And if there's a chance that you know Quebec, I'll say Quebec. For example, what is really weird is a mosquito. Look at you, not even. Fuck. I don't want to break the glass, I think it's hard enough. Most time, what I'll say, which is completely weird, but I'll say I'm from Montreal. And surprisingly, which is crazy to me, there's more people that know what Montreal is than what Quebec is. So Montreal it's a very popular city, it's a very big city. So that's why people know Montreal. Coming back to the TikTok, seeing people live and celebrating Canada Day kind of woke something up inside me. Again, we watched it after we went to the party that was cancelled. Why did it wake up something in me? I was seeing people party, and I was seeing people make content out of Canada Day. And it was a huge celebration. Happy Canada Day, Happy Canada Day. You know what's crazy? So these are, how can I say that? These are kind of like unwritten rules. So it's culturally speaking, it's not something that's widely known. The color of the French Canadian flag is blue. So when it's La Saint Jean, usually what you'll do is you'll wear some blue. Kind of color, the color of the flag of Canada are red. But usually what you'll do is you'll wear red. And I'm seeing people with red, I'm seeing people singing. I saw somebody singing, "Oh Canada." I know the French version, I don't know the English version. Terre de nos aïeux. Yeah. Which is country of our ancestor. Birthplace, something like that, you know. And I was just happy, and I was able to kind of feel related to it, to kind of feel like, okay, well, this is pertinent to me. If somebody said, hey, happy Cinco de Mayo, I would like, thank you, and I'm not laughing, you know. Somebody said, hey, happy Hanukkah, hey, but I'm not Jewish, you know. And yeah, it was weird. It was weird because celebrating, it's a great example, right? I don't know. Christmas. With Christmas, it's more of a family thing, right? It's more like staying at home, watching a good movie, remembering the good time, being comfortable, spending time with your loved one. Then at work, it also celebrate Christmas, and it's just like second family. Like, okay, well, this is not my family, these are my friends, but I still want to celebrate Christmas with them. You know? At Christmas, when did you tell your boys, hey, Merry Christmas? You know? It's odd. So again, I felt kind of related to it. When we go back from, I'll be right back. Also, it's just gas. Well, for now, it's just gas. Maybe. There you go. Just gas. So. But I also feel like, well, I went to a party and I was having an expectation of a party. But the party didn't happen. So because the party didn't happen, my expectations were left. I have to go bathroom. Sorry about that. Uh, like I said, we ate some junk food today because it's celebrating. But yeah, so was I able to relate to the content of today because we didn't have a party? Was that the reason? Because if it is the reason, there's nothing wrong with that. However, it's kind of, how can I say that? You want a reason why you're able to enjoy something to be because I'm enjoying it, not because you kind of pushed to enjoy it. What I'm trying to say is because we didn't get to celebrate the holidays, we're trying to fight. It's like a relationship. I was with this girl, but then she left me. So I have this thing. I have this. I'm fucking single, and I'm finally single. I can get laid. I can get laid, and then you spend a couple of days partying, right? And then it hits you. Oh, I'm single, and now okay, well the healing starts, right? And that's why people get into relationships quickly. People that are single that get to a relationship that get back to being single are right away trying to find a relationship because they're not able to handle the healing process. It's too much for them. So they do is they put themselves in a position where they're gonna get hurt again. That way they don't have to heal. My neighbor's there. Yesterday, you know what she did? She put a chair outside, and it was a computer. It was a computer outside. She put the computer outside. Which is insane. Because there's bugs, there's actually bats in the machine. Yeah, there's bats. My father had one last month, 2 months ago, I don't know. He had a bat. Yeah, so, and if it is the case, then it's weird because we established that if I wasn't making content, I possibly wouldn't have cared about La Saint Jean or Canada. La Saint Jean Canada, I would have cared. Like I said, it's funny because I did say this today. La Saint Jean would have just been an excuse to listen to French Canadian media, so videos, shows, music. That would have been my way of celebrating. And for Canada, it was a Trailer Park Boys episode, special because they're in Nova Scotia, which is close to Ontario. I think it's in Ontario actually. Nova Scotia, NS. Yeah. You know, it's a beautiful country. There's no war, a lot of resources. It's a good place to live. Economy isn't too fucked. It's a little bit fucked, but it's not too fucked. I don't know what happened to my mom today. She was worried about her dying, and she was saying, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen when I die? How are you gonna survive?" Mom, you're not gonna die tomorrow. First of all, and I was okay. I'm okay now. I don't think if you die, and I know that's horrible to say, but I'll have financial death box, you know? I even have enough money to afford a coffin. We're good, Mom. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough because it felt great, but it felt also a bit of a guilty trip. When you realize, oh my God, people are celebrating Canada Day, and although the show is cancelled, I'm still getting to celebrate it a little bit. Now, did I film people live and say, hey, you know, a piece of Canada Day? It did a compilation. Could have done a couple of lives, screen a little bit, record a little bit, and then put it together and say, hey, a Canada Day, and put it on montage. 30, 40 content creator. And again, it would be easy because TikTok will push you in your region, you know? I didn't do it because it was a small celebration. It wasn't a celebration. I even, it's nuts. Because we went out on our scooter, there's a bunch of people having a Canada Day flag on their houses. But then, and that's what I'm trying to say with the guilt. A lot of people have Quebec flag there. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough of the long videos. But I love you, that you matter. I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink, 'cause you're blink. Welcome to the show. Living well, because I'm having a wonderful day on this here First July 2025, so happy Canada Day to Edge and every single one of you. They were talking about the next series we're going to be watching. We just finished Overlord, and my ADHD brain cannot handle waiting a couple of days for another season, so we're going to be watching Squid Game. Now, Squid Game, I was going to wait a little bit because, again, I want the hype to die down. I don't want to have to do like videos. So, for example, right? People that are recapping or reviewing Squid Games, they're gonna get together and like, okay, well, first day views. So first day views is a concept of a game came out, I'm gonna play the shit out of this game, release content. A movie came out, I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna review it. This is what day one views are. So with Squid Game, I didn't want to watch it because it's a good show, but I missed season 2 and season 1. Now, what really happened, I'll be completely honest as to why I didn't watch it, is a lot of shows that for some reason stopped making content after season 1. They just stopped. And they stopped making content and, okay, well, am I waiting for season 2? And then it gets cancelled, and like, okay, well, why did you bother doing season 1 if there's not season 2, right? So the Squid Game, what happened was we watched it back in 2021, yes. Because Junior, one of my really good friends, told me Junior, it's funny because Junior was the one who convinced me to get Netflix. Watch La Casa de Papel, which is House of Cards. No. House of Cards is also a really good show. Really good show. Possibly one of the first series I watched during the pandemic. During the pandemic, I watched a lot of series on Netflix, a lot of them. I was playing Cyberpunk and watching House of Cards, which is crazy. We watched Parks and Recs. And we watched Squid Game. My apologies. So I watched it, and Junior's like, okay, well, when you're done with Money Heist is coming up. Money Heist, which is a really good show. So Junior was like, hey, when you're done with that, watch Squid Game. And I never had a show like Squid Game. So I started watching it, and I really liked it. It was a show which was really cool because the introduction is actually quite nice. There's a shitty person who's willing to do anything for their money. He's a shitty person because he's hanging his mom. He's not a good father. You know, it's kind of like a shitty human being. The fact that he's dead and you're like, okay, well, I know why. And the fact that he has an exit door where he can sacrifice his life to survive and get money, you can kind of tell that this guy will do anything that he can to survive. Now, I think this was released in 2021. I'm not sure. What they did was they released season 2, I think it was last year. But I think it was during the winter for sure. And then they released season 3 well, technically speaking, they released on the 27th. Because Fortnite released a game mode that's Squid Games, which is really cool. And I think that's it, yeah. So why are we watching it now? Well, the first season was really good. This season I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch it, but at this time, it's weird. It's really weird. So I'm watching season 1, right? And I got a bunch of shows. So we watched 60 Days in, and we did recap. We watched Squid Game in recap because I was depressed and I didn't want to make content. I was really, really depressed. I can't say fuck making content. Fuck that. So we didn't do it. As simple as this. We didn't make content. Then, because I didn't finish recapping season 1. I took notes. So during the winter, we watched 2 shows. You guys know that. So we watched Shane Messenger first season, which we didn't even start. Then we watched what else? We watched Squid Game, and we watched. No. I forgot today. No one was playing Pokemon Yellow on my emulator. So yeah, so I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna show you something. This usually to the girls. This is very intellectual. Which is good. Okay. It's because I had a lot of shows to recap. I was like, hey, well, fuck watching YouTube chats to recap because you're already behind. And you're not a little bit behind, you're very, very behind. There you go. So what we did was, because this one I'm going to use it to just make sure that we don't have firework. What we did is we connected it. This, this is the wire. And yeah, so we're going to be charging it a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be enough. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we didn't watch season 2, and then season 3 came out. The reason why we're recapping it is because it's spoiler. There's a lot of people putting spoilers in there. They're putting spoilers and spoilers and spoilers and spoilers. I'm like, fuck that. I have to watch it. I already know how it's gonna end. The good news is I know how it's gonna end. I don't know much about it. So for example, I know season 2. I know Thanos because so many people talk about Thanos. So many people talk about how important he was and shit like that. And in season 3, I know that there's a baby, and the main character's gonna be like, we're not animals, we're not horses, we're humans. He's gonna kill himself. That way the baby win. That's pretty much it. And the VIP joins the game, and I don't know why. I want people favorite people's favorites are the frontman, which is actually a really good actor. But my favorite is possibly Salesman, because I believe that he delivered such a powerful thing. And yes, all it is, without watching the show, just watching TikTok and just watching YouTube and shorts and edits and shit like that, you know? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're doing really soon. And I do mean really soon. There is a disclaimer. I've watched season 1 3 times, so I know it a lot. Season 2 we didn't watch it, and season 2, I believe, I'm not sure. I think I watched the first episode. I think so, but I'm not sure. So yeah, so we'll recap this, and that's pretty much it. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink if you're lying. And you all are having a wonderful day on this 1st July 25, aka at Better Day. Today is a very rainy day, which means there's probably not going to be fireworks, which makes your boy very sad. But again, I'm at peace with that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. They were talking about a video from Gundam. I got a good news, I got a bad news. So we started with the third one. So technically speaking, we already did 3 series. So we did Gundam 1979, we did Gundam Z, we did Gundam, and now we're doing Gundam and ZZ. However, we also did Gundam C. So here's the first episode about the 3rd series. There's some good news, there's some bad news. Let's talk about it. So I'm feeling kind of good about it. We're already halfway there. Because I had a lot of time today, but also I had a lot of AP. Ability point or action point, I don't fucking know. And just run through it. The series is good. The main character is a new type, just like Amuro was and just like Camille was. There's a lot of mentions of those. However, here's a negative right away. For example, Boa. Boa, I was happy to see him in season 2 because I'm like, hey, I know this character. In season 3, you're like, oh, I saw you again. Season 3 is all about the enemy, which is the Neon. The Neo Vion, which is again the same enemy as season 1 and season 2. So that's kind of not great, because it feels the same. It feels redundant, and I'm 3 series in out of 18. So the story feels good at the same time. Camille, so season 2, so season 1 is a dude that is thrown into a war because he's talented. It's like, yo, you're one of the only hope that we have. You're a rare new type, and because you're a new type, we need you. You're super valuable. Second one is like, okay, well, guess what? Your whole family was killed by the enemies. With a dictatorship, you can bring freedom to people. So your new type will give you the power to change that. The third one is a kid, and at the same time, the plot is actually quite nice because the plot is about the effect of war. So everybody's poor, there's no job. Most adults are dead, which means there's a lot of kids that are orphans that have to fend up for a living. They do is they take these scrap metals and they sell it. Part of gun damage to that. So this is kind of cool because it does show the effect of war. And it shows that, okay, well, this is not the first war, this is not the second war. This is the third war in a row. So this is actually quite nice. Kind of the negative thing about that is you go out from a dude that was trying to bring freedom to people to a dude that's just trying to get money for his sister. Now, ultimately speaking, he has some emotions and he's like, okay, well, I owe him. Also, I don't like the crew because it's crew of Scavenger. They're after money a lot, so they'll betray the good guys, get some money. There's a villain, she's a kid, and she's asking the main guy, play with me, play with me, play with me. And because he doesn't want to play, she gets mad, and she's also a good type, so she fights them. She fights them because they don't want to play, which is stupid. But then again, it's stupid, but it brings out a very good thing. It brings out a good thing, and the only reason why I know that's because I actually try to sell you that third season is good. I'm working a lot to sell you. It's a good thing because yes, it's very childish, but most of the humans, most of the adults are killed because of war. So we have human soldier, we have children soldier. What you call it? I think it's called toy soldier, something like that. So yeah, so it's actually really cool. The story in itself it's okay. It's not great. It's once again Gundam versus Gundam. Now I believe what's going on is I've played too much Gundam lately, and because I've played too much Gundam lately, then it's affecting my ability to enjoy Gundam. So what we'll do is we'll take a break from it. Now there's still daily, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do extras. Extras are making the dailies and making sure that we get the material to upgrade ships. That's pretty much it. And then the event that does require narrative as an extra. So not good, not great, but not bad. Don't blink if you blink. Welcome to the show. I was you all to having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025. Then we're talking about Gundam. Yes, the G1 application. There's been a new update that rolled out, which is 2 games. I'm gonna tell you what I think about the new upgrade, the new updates. I'm gonna tell you how I feel that the game is going. This is always really positive. They had it treat. They had a bunch of mechanics that were really needed. So, for example, you're not able to okay, well, they had a new series, and they also had that you have to unlock the series to unlock the development. So people could go in the very last development and get super good units because again, there was no restriction, which was kind of cool. First of all, second of all, they had a lot of series. I think they added 3 series, which is not a lot, but when you think that the original had like, I think it's like 13 series, having 3, it's almost 25%, so that's a lot. Second of all, they're getting a lot of prices. There's a new unit. We had it at the site, now we have the guy, and he's super cool. He has like 3 forms. One of them has a sword, one of them has a cannon, one of them is just, it's just he's showing sword. It's actually really badass. The story itself, it's not nothing about the map event. It's kind of sad because there's a lot to work with, but he took out a lot of work. So for example, the PvP is gone. It's per season, so it's going to come back but later on. You took out a map event, which was also super cool, and you replace it with kind of like a raid bosses. So what you can do is you can fight a certain type of Gundam, and you get part for them, which is cool. So why is that cool? It's because when the game came out, it was the first event that they ever did, and it was the Red Gundam, and the Red Gundam was only there for a little bit. So if you managed to do it, you had a Red Gundam. If you didn't manage to do it, you lost the unit. Now what's really cool is they did 4 units. So for example, you don't like this Gundam, you have this other one, and this other one, and this other one. What is the supreme cool is they're not overpowered. So I still have to figure out this system, but I think it's rare, super rare, super, super rare, ultra rare, which is what we're looking for. And that's pretty much it. So, a lot of new stuff. The game looks good, to be honest. I'm excited. We'll see what's up. And that's pretty much it. So, love you guys. Peace. John Blake is playing game. Welcome to welcome to the show. And also guys are having a wonderful day on this 1st July 2025. Today we're talking about a bit of a streaming. This is an update.